Okay, so today we're going to work with solving formulas. Okay, so in this first one, I guess I got to get back to a marker. Okay, sure. So you blind people back there can see. Okay, for this first one, we're supposed to solve for y. If I multiply by y on the left side, to solve for y, I have to divide. Okay, so do the opposite. So I'm going to divide. So y equals 2x over 5. Okay, so if I solve for y here, I'm adding 12 to y, so I need to subtract 12. So z minus 12 equals y. Okay, the z minus 12 goes in there. All right, the formula B equals 30A is used to estimate the minimum output of a furnace in BTUs for a modern house with the amount of square feet of flooring. So if you have a 1900 square foot house, how do you figure out how many BTUs you need to use? Well, is that A or is that B? The output is B. The amount of square foot of flooring is A. What would 1900 square feet be? The B, the output of the furnace, or the A, the square feet of flooring? A, the square feet of flooring. You're looking for the BTUs. You're trying to find the BTUs, and you're given the square feet. That would be the square feet of flooring. So B equals 30 times 1900. Now, you don't get to use calculators in here. You don't get to use a calculator on your cell phone. You don't get to use a calculator on your computer. You don't get to use calculators. Okay? So you have to take the 1900 times the 30. What I would do is just offset it. 0 times everything is 0. 0 times 3 is 0. 3 times 0 is 0. 3 times 9 is 27. Carry the 2. 3 times 1 is 3 plus 2 is 5. So it's 57,000 BTUs. Do you know what a BTU stands for? British Thermal Unit. That is BTU. For those of you going into HVAC. Uh-huh. Calorie density, D, in calories per ounce, is a food that contains C calories in W ounces. For the given formula, D equals C over W. 10 ounces of a particular beverage contains 165 calories. Find the calorie density of the beverage. Okay, so calorie density. So D equals the calories divided by the weight. Now, 165 calories you're given. Okay. Um, and you're told that it's 10 ounces. Okay. So 165, 165 divided by 10. 10 goes into 16 how many times? 10 goes into 16 once. And 6.5 or 65. 10 goes into 65 6 times with 60 with a 5 0. And then goes in there 5 times. Imagine that, 16.5. How did you get that so easily, Jess Engler? Well, when you divide by 10, you just move the decimal point one place. All right. When all n teams in a league play each other twice, the total number of games are n equals n squared minus n. A soccer league had 8 teams and all teams play each other twice. How many games are played? So n, the number of games overall, equals the number of teams squared minus the number of teams. So 64 minus 8 is 56. Distance equals rate times time. Okay. A car travels 45 miles per hour for 3.5 hours. So distance equals 45 times 3.5. So you take 45. You could do this a couple different ways. You could take it 45 and then do the distributive property. 45 times 3 is 135. 45 times 0.5 is 22.5. And add those together, and you get 157.5. You could do it that way. Or you could take 45 times 3.5 and go the 5 times the 5 is 25, carry the 2. 5 times 4 is 20, plus 2 is 22. 5 times 3 is 15, carry the 1. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 1 is 13. And if you add and you put the decimal, since there's one decimal point up here, there's one decimal place down here. Either way, you got 157.5. Okay? Now it says solve for the formula T. If D equals RT, to get T alone, what do we do to each side? Divide by R. So T equals D over R. Okay, that goes in there. And then distance is in miles, rate is in miles per hour. So what's miles divided by miles per hour going to get you? Exactly. So if you take the numerator times the reciprocal of the denominator, the miles cancel and you're left with hours. Obviously, time would be hours. College students take many different course loads. Many colleges determine a full-time equivalent by taking the formula F equals N divided by 15, where N is the total number of credits in which a student enrolls in a given semester. If students on campus register for this many credits, how many full-time equivalent students does it have? So if we divide by 15, we take 65,535 divided by 15. How many times did 15 go into 60? 4 times, and you get 60 with 55 left over. It doesn't go in, so since 4 times 15 is 60, we must need a 3 here because 55 is less than 60. 3 times 15 is 45 with 10 left over, so now it's 103. How many times does 15 go into 103? I know it's not 8 because 8 would be 120. 7 would be probably 105, so probably 6. 6 times 5 is 0. Carry the 3. We get 90 with 13 left over. So 135. How many times does 15 go into 135? Probably 9. 9 times 5 is 45. Carry the 4. 9 times 1 is 9 plus 4 is 13. Hey, we got it. So 4369 full-time equivalent students. Now, if we solve for n, what would we do here? If we solve for n, if we got n alone, what would we do to both sides? Divide by 15? Multiply by 15. It would be 15f if we multiply by 15. Okay? All right. How do we solve this one for D? How would we solve this for D? Divide by 3. How would we solve this one for M? Divide by M. How would we solve this one for Y? Subtract 8. How would we solve this one for X? Add 1/5. How would we solve this one for Y? Subtract 15. Okay, so that's the type of stuff you'll be doing today. Quite a few word problems to work through, and then some solving for variables. Okay, we will have a quiz over this on Wednesday. Quiz on Wednesday over this stuff.